They have nothing to do with Mike Flynn, Kellyanne Conway and Nordstrom's, or the president's Twitter feed, but there are other stories that would likely be front-page news with any other president. The Trump administration employing a rarely used legislative procedure called the Congressional Review Act to strike down Obama-era rules and regulations, and there's a ticking clock on these efforts. They're taking aim at areas including the environment, the financial industry, and gun ownership. Let's look at the guns example. A rule implemented in December blocks individuals with certain mental health conditions from making firearms purchases. It requires the Social Security Administration to report names of people deemed incapable of managing their finances due to mental illness to the FBI's federal background check system. The U.S. Senate joined the House on Wednesday in voting to strike down this measure.
The resolution will provide relief from an overly broad and legally deficient regulation.
You are undermining the ability of the federal government and of law enforcement to enforce the law.
President Trump's expected to sign the congressional resolution that eliminates the firearms restriction. This fast-track deregulation is made possible by the CRA, a law passed in 1996 under House Speaker Newt Gingrich. It gives Congress 60 legislative days to study and disapprove of a rule after it comes into effect. But if a legislative session ends before lawmakers have had 60 days, the clock resets. So, in reality, Congress is able to target over 180 Obama administration regulations issued since May of last year. CRA regulations aren't technically new laws, so they only require a simple majority vote in the Senate.
This is a big signing, very important signing.
Trump used the act for the second time ever earlier this week when he signed a resolution eliminating an anti-corruption measure aimed at energy companies. The rule that's no longer a rule required oil and gas companies to disclose payments to the U.S. or foreign governments for commercial development. And on Thursday, Trump used the CRA again to overturn the stream protection rule. It restricts coal companies from dumping mining waste into streams and waterways.
This rule we're eliminating is a major threat to your jobs, and we're going to get rid of that threat immediately.
With other news from the White House grabbing headlines, the CRA may continue to be the little-known but highly effective legislative weapon it is now.
There's a spirit of optimism rising across the country. It's going to continue to grow as we sign more and more bills.
That's the short answer.